everyone, how's it going? Han here, hope you're having a fantastic day as usual. As you can tell by the title, this is all about McMMO, so get ready for a whole lot of information. So I'll just show you now again. If you just type in /stats, it may differentiate between servers, I don't personally know, but if you do that, your stats will come up. As you can see, my PAL level is pretty high, so I've had a lot of experience with being able to see how to get XP high in certain skills. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to go through all of them. So I'll go through gathering skills first, then I'll go through the combat skills, then I'll go through all the miscellaneous skills. So I'll get straight into it and stop jabbering on. Okay, so we're going to start with is excavation. So you get all your XP from digging and finding treasures. So what I recommend is to just use grass or dirt. I don't see the point changing to gravel or sand. A lot of people say sand gives more XP. I think it does, but you also have the chance of the sand falling if you go underneath it on you, and on some servers you can have lag, which can cause you just to take more time because you're having to wait for the lag to go away. Whereas if you just use dirt or grass, you can just go absolutely crazy at some times, and you won't have to worry about anything falling on you. So if say you're close to 500, you're on 490, and you really want to get to 500, you can just go absolutely mad in the dirt without having to worry about getting any sort of damage, and you can just go straight through it as fast as you can. So as you can see here, it will show you your XP gain, your level, it will show you any effects, and it will show you your stats. So currently, for Giga Drill Breaker ability, I have 22 seconds. I think it starts out at around 5 seconds. All you want to do is, before you start shoveling up anything, any sort of block, just right click first, then left click to collect it all, and it's going to activate it, and this will give you 3 times the amount of XP, which is very, very helpful. Of course, at a lower level, you're not going to have it for long and it's going to run out, but just keep using it as much as you can because it will help you. So as you can see, my level is going up pretty fast now, and I'm even at a high level, so it already proves to show how much it can really help you. And of course now it's worn off, which is fine, but we'll just keep going a little bit longer. There we go. So yeah. And any of the extra stuff you can get, like the loot, that's just really a bonus. The higher your level is in this, like your XP, the better loot you're going to get pretty much. Like, I think it was around its level 750, you can actually start getting diamonds, which is awesome. When you get up to level 900, you have the chance of getting a cake. Now don't quote me on if these are actually correct, but it's just what I've seen from observation. But yeah, that is pretty awesome, and it's really cool because this would definitely help you with repairing items, which you will find out later. Okay, next up is fishing. So it's pretty much like it says. You get your XP just from fishing. So obviously you're going to want to have the best fishing rod you can possibly get, because the more you reel in, the better. So, as you can see, there's a lot of stats with it. There's a lot of effects with it. I won't really go into these with too much detail, but you can see them right there if you want to pause the video quickly and take a little read. But the best way to get like catching fish, I would say, just from observation, a little bit of research, is to fish at nighttime and to fish in a boat. So if you already didn't know that, you can start doing that now, and literally all you gotta do is fish. That's the only way you're really gonna get this up. I've seen a few people who have told me that I should try fighting a mob with the fishing rod, but I don't recommend that. One, because your fishing rod's going to break very, very quickly. Of course you can repair it, but then you're just going to be wasting so much time into that. I find this a lot faster and a lot easier because you also get food, so there's a plus with that, and I just think it's just way better to just naturally fish. Yes, it's going to take time, but sometimes, like I said before, you've just got to put the time and effort in just to get the results. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have for this one. I know it's not much, but that's really all I can say about it, is to just fish. Okay, Herbalism. So as you can see, my level is 252. It's not too high, but then again it's really not that low because anything above 200 is generally viewed as pretty good. But as you can see, XP game is just from harvesting herbs, so pretty much just any crop. And I'm about to show you the ones that I use because personally I view them as either the best or just they're generally good to use. So you can see all the effects here, so feel free to pause the video and take a look if you want. Again, I'm not going to go into too much detail or really any detail because most of them are pretty self-explanatory because they just tell you. But other than that, we'll take a look at this. So this is just a really small sugarcane farm. Now I have been told that if you take off the top layer, then take off the second, you can actually get more XP. Don't worry, I've even tested this out. It's not true. I did the XP and I calculated it all and I still got the same, so no matter how you choose to collect it all, you will still get the same amount of XP. But sugarcane is one of the best, purely because it's really easy to make. You only need water and you don't even need to have sand, you can just place it on grass as most of you would know. Or you may not know, that's a new fact for you I guess. But yeah, so all you need is just sugarcane, grow it out, make it as long as you want, as big as you want, and just use that. And the second one of the three things I use, this is mainly for food. The XP is really just a bonus, but it's just a massive, well it's not really massive, but it's a pretty big potato farm. So just collecting it all. As you already saw, my XP is already pretty high, so it obviously takes me a little bit more to get any XP, but this is just, I can just get 3, maybe 4 levels if I'm lucky some days off this. Okay, next up is woodcutting. And all you're going to need for this is 1 red mushroom and a whole lot of bone meal. So I'm just going to quickly grow all this and I'll be right back. Okay, that's much better. Now some of you may be thinking, this is woodcutting. Why have you got a bunch of fully grown mushrooms? Purely because these are actually a lot better than using trees. And you'll see why in a second. Because they give a lot of XP. They're really easy to collect. As you can see, this is super fast. And as you can see there on the left, I probably should have typed in woodcutting. My level's already pretty high, so obviously I'm going to need a lot more XP to level up each time. And the reason why I'm not using brown is because red have more blocks, so you'd be saving yourself time really, and you'd be able to get more XP. So if we look at my woodcutting, as you can see, level 467, it's already pretty high. There's all the different effects. Tree feller is actually really good to use. I can't use it on mushrooms though, which kinda sucks. I've seen other people use it, but it then must, again, things differentiate between servers. Admins sometimes don't like to use certain things, but I will show you the tree feller later so you can have a look at that. But yeah, pretty much I just use mushrooms. Because it's a lot faster and it's a lot quicker for you to get that XP. So from all of these, which is 42, I get around 14 XP levels, which is really good based on how high my level already is. So if you're starting out at level 100 watching this, or you haven't even started your woodcutting, you're going to get pretty high if you can get your hand on some of these mushrooms. So like it says here, Tree Feller is an ability that makes trees explode. So it's kind of like the Giga Drill Breaker. What you gotta do is right click, then left, and if you go around, some of these will just explode for you, as you can see. And you also get your wood cutting skill to increase, which is also a bonus. Okay, and now we also have mining for the gathering skills. So the best way to level this up is, well, like it says, it's just mining. Now, endstone does give the most XP, but it can be the hardest thing to mine because it does take quite some time. You can also go to the nether and mine all the netherrack. It's obviously a lot faster, so you can use that. But like all things, it's just, you really do need to put time and effort into it, otherwise it's not just going to happen easily. Unless you're just really lucky and have a really good tool or something, but so as you can see, it's going out pretty well. Just keep mining it, and yeah, you're just going to have to work at it really. Okay, so next up is combat skills, and we're going to start with archery. So the best way to do this is just to go to the nether. Get out your bow. If you can, try and get one that has infinity. I haven't been lucky enough to yet, but all you gotta do is shoot any pigmen, and that's just the best way to get XP. And the reason why I'm up on this is so they don't attack me. I have pretty good armor, but you know, this is just in case. Just make sure you get them all. Don't have any attacking you later. And why are you running away? There we go. Oh, brought back more. Okay. So as you can see, my archery isn't very high, but you know, it's going up pretty well. So as you can see, XP gain is from attacking monsters. Pigmen just give the best amount of XP for it. So that's why I choose them. And that's literally all I have to say for archery. It's just to go after pigmen in the nether. So next up we have swords, axes, and unarmed. If I can even spell today. There we go. Nope, I didn't even spell that correctly. Good job, hen. There we go. Now I'm doing all of these three together because it's doing the same thing. It's just attacking monsters. So with unarmed, you're just using your fist to attack mobs. With axes, you're using an axe to kill mobs. And with swords, you're using a sword. Now if you're lucky, servers will let you use spawners for XP. This particular server does not, but you can see their reasoning with them saying that you can't, because obviously everyone would just be able to get up to level 1000 so fast, which is the max level if any of you did not already know that. So the max level for any skill is 1000, is when it absolutely is capped. You can go above it, but you won't get anything special. Although I think sometimes your special abilities can increase, like the Giga Drill breaker, that's going to keep increasing in seconds, so I keep going above 1000. But with that being said, so for this server, I pretty much just have to go out into the wild and find mobs, and I just have to kill them either using an axe, a sword, or my fist, and that's just the way that I will be able to get XP. If you're lucky, you can buy heaps of mob eggs, but on most servers, they can be pretty expensive. Also, passive mobs as well as the aggressive ones work too. So you can like kill cows and stuff. They won't give you as much XP, but they still do give you XP. So that's all I really have to say for the combat. One last thing I will say that is in the combat skills is taming. Now personally, I don't train mine, I really don't, because it's not the easiest to train. I'm not saying it's impossible or it's really difficult. It kinda is, kinda isn't. But pretty much all it is from, like it says here, animal taming or combat with your wolves. Obviously you're going to need to get a hold of wolves, but you know, it's like, it sort of works, sort of doesn't. It takes a while. It's a lot of patience into this one if you really want to get it up into higher levels. But I really just don't see the point in trying to get mine high, because I won't really need to be using many of these or having any of these stats unlocked. So I've decided to just leave it for now. It's not really important. I don't base it to be an important skill to have. But if you want to go for it, just tame as many horses as you can. That's what I did to get to level 20. I also tamed a few wolves, and I tried to get them to attack animals. It did take a while though for them to get XP. If you're lucky on a server, try and get some spawn eggs and take them into the end with you and get them to attack Endermen. Just be careful that they don't take too much damage themselves. If you're fortunate enough, make some splash potions for them with strength so they can survive just that extra bit longer. But yeah, that's all I have for combat. Okay, so next up is Acrobatics. This is now the miscellaneous skills. So as you can see, XP gain is by falling. And that's literally all there is to it. You've just got to fall and take damage. So every half heart gives you XP. So the more you fall, obviously because my level is already getting up to a pretty high level, I have that rolled chance. And yeah, so you just gotta keep taking damage. That's how you get your acrobatics up. Now this little thing I have going on, it's not really little, but all it is 10 blocks up, 1 block over, 10 blocks up. So every time I do it, it's just a 10 block jump. Now I know if you do, I'm pretty sure it's a 23 block jump, you can leave yourself with half a heart, then at the end you just die with a cactus, but I prefer not to do that purely because I just prefer this way. I reckon it's easier and faster, but this is also really more of a preference thing. If you want to do it with the cactus and the 23 block jumps, then go for it that way, but I personally recommend this. This way is also better if you have the ability to have what I have, and that is a full tier beacon, which I'm lucky enough to have, which has obviously these effects on the right that you can see. So that does help with my acrobatics a lot. I am fortunate enough to be able to afford all of those iron blocks and still be alive after jumping so many blocks. So as you can see, the skill goes up pretty fast, and I'm already at a high level, so it's pretty good to have. This is also good because after a while, once you master this and get it up to level 1000, it goes down there too, but I'll just stay up here, you actually have a chance to completely have no fall damage, so that's awesome. Okay, so I'm going to make this as short and as sweet as I possibly can. This is going to take a lot of time unless you have an automated potion system, but me, I have to do everything manually, and even if you have an automated system, you're still going to have to manually put in nether wart and whatever you add to your potions. But if you want to gain XP here, you're just going to have to keep working at it as much as you can. As you can see, my alchemy isn't too high, but I haven't used it too much. But if you want to have that chance just to get more XP, it's not really in much of certain potions that give you more. There really is no differentiate that I've noticed, but if you make them into splash potions and you have a lot of brewing stands like I do, you will notice that your XP and your levels will go up way faster than it would of you just making a normal potion. So if you have me, I have the advantage. I bought a creeper spawner, so I also can get gunpowder a lot easily, but if you have access to it on whatever server you're playing on, whether it is this one or another server, make any potion you have. Once you've made it to its max, make it into a splash potion just so you can get that extra XP that's going to help you in the future. I would show you me making some so you can see how fast it can go up, but I'm not going to bother because it's going to take a lot of time, so you're just going to take my word for it. It does work. You will gain more XP than you would just making a normal potion. You still will make XP off this. I think it's either every 8 times you put something into a brewing stand or 12 you get like XP. So like I said, you're just going to have to be persistent and work at it. Okay, for the next one, repair, you're just going to need a lot of ingots. I'm just going to say that straight out. This one is very expensive, or can be very expensive to level up, but trust me, it is 100% worth it. It is actually the first thing that I capped up to 1000, and you'll find out why in a second. So it can actually change. It just, again, this is one of the things where it differentiates between servers, but the repair block here is an iron block. This gold one is a salvage block. You'll find out about that one later. But as you can see, you pretty much just right click it, with a weapon and you can repair it, and with a salvage you can then get the ingots back, which is really cool. But if you really want to level up your repair, diamond armor is the best way. It's just no other way to say it. But until you can actually repair diamond, you unlock that at, I'm pretty sure it's level 50. Yep, as it says there, diamond repair is 50 plus skill. So until then, just get a lot of iron, make iron armor, stand next to a cactus, take damage, but please beware that if you do not watch it, you could lose your armor, or you could, well, lose all your hearts and die. So make sure to be watching both of them to make sure that you don't lose your armor and have to remake it. So we're just gonna fast forward a bit here. Okay, so as you can see, my repair level is pretty high. It's already above 1000. It's 1057. Obviously you get it by repairing anything, whether it's armor or tools. Arcane forging is the main reason why I got this to 1000, is because I have a higher success rate and a low downgrade chance. So pretty much if I have an enchanted item, I have a chance to repair it, but as you can see, arcane power has permanently left the item. But if I have another one and I repair it, it can only decrease or it can stay. So as you can see there, there's still some of it there. If I try with the pickaxe, and of course it's decreased on that too. But there's still a fair bit there, so it's not too bad. If you're lucky, I've had it a few times, you can actually have the stuff stay on the item. Of course though, because I'm recording, it's going to have a lot of stuff leave, but that doesn't really matter because I can always just try and enchant more later. Now if I do my armor here, right click it, as you can see, you're going to need a lot of diamonds for this if you are lucky enough to afford them or can find them in mines. And have all that repaired. Now I really don't want to lose my feather falling because that does help with the acrobatics, but we'll see how we go. And it has permanently left the item too, that's great. Anyway, so obviously I was unlucky enough and got the downgrade and didn't get my success rate, but hey, it happens. That's pretty much all I have to say for repair. Just stand next to a cacti while it does your armor, and then when your armor is damaged, just repair it, and it's going to put your skill up for you. Okay, last two, Salvage and Smelting. I'm going to put these two together. As you would have seen by me using the Salvage block earlier, it's just you put things on it. So I'll use the axe for another example, and I can get diamond from it, so that's pretty cool. So if you want to do a lot of things, like half the time I just repair gold tools and then I just salvage them and take the gold back, just because it helps me get XP and I can still keep the gold. That's a good way to use it. If you look here, you will see Salvage and Smeltery are both child skills. So what that means is you have two parent skills that will level up that skill. So you're not going to be able to level up this skill on its own. You're going to have to be using fishing and repair, as it shows there, to give it its own level. So as you can see, mine's almost at 600. As you can see, repair is really high, so that's really boosted my salvage level up. And my fishing isn't too high, but it does still help. And the same goes for Smeltery. Smelting, sorry. And that's also a child skill, and that does your mining and your repair. As you can see, it is pretty well done. It's already up to 646, that's pretty high, which is really good. You obviously get all of these effects, same with the salvage. I hope some of this information helped you. If it didn't, sorry, and hopefully you can find another video that can help you out.